don't have as much evidence to back on, but thinking about it, especially with 2, all the characters that went to Silent Hill went there, I think, for a reason, and that reason is to end their lives. So I think in the lore of Silent Hill, I think it almost gets the moniker of the Japanese suicide forest.
Ooh.
I think that this place becomes known as an area that people go to just get lost, especially with Frank Sunderland, James's dad's note, saying, oh yes, they got lost in Silent Hill. Like, they went there to die.
Because they say that if you get lost in the suicide forest, like
Exactly. You know exactly what that means.
Oh, that gave me chills.
And
So
That's
it's Silent Hill
dope.
in one place. Like you can go to Silent Hill.
you can literally find Silent Hill on a map, depending on who you are and when it is.
It's next to a city called Brahms.
Yes,
So it doesn't move around.
it does not
Brahms
move
has
around.
really good cheddar.
Is it like Tortuga, where
So
like
say-
you have to know where it is? to
Saying
find
that though, in different or in Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 4, and Silent Hill 5, Silent Hill tends to seep out into other areas of the world.
it? Like
You're
the
not-
apartment or whatever.
Yes,
right?
the apartment, the original city that you start off in Silent Hill 3, that is because Heather is born of Silent Hill, which you find out is her real name is Cheryl. She is born of Silent Hill, and in Silent Hill 5,
She's half man,
Shepherd's
half
Glen.
Pyramid Head.
Silent Hill 5, Shepherd's Glen. The Shepherd family were one of the original founders of Silent Hill.
of non-spooky Silent Hill.
Correct, when it first happened, and they
But still spooky. Can I say?
what?
Because the reason they were able to leave Silent Hill is because they promised to sacrifice
So you're
one
gonna
of their
just take what I was
children.
going to say, but okay. That's
Oh.
fine.
I
He
asked.
asked. He asked.
I didn't know that's what you were going to say.
That's-
He
So
said,
that's
"Can
okay.
I say?"
That's fine. No, yeah, they made a deal with basically a demon and
do
or a
what?
god that they could leave Silent Hill because people didn't want to be a part of Silent Hill anymore. They wanted to leave.
But they weren't allowed to leave.
They weren't
Correct.
allowed to leave, so they made a deal with the demon that was kind of already there. So it's stated that Silent Hill has always
Who's the
kind of been
demon?
a thing.
Or God.
Or God.
They're
Same
like, there's
thing.
a lot of hot nurses. There's a lot of trash bags, mannequins.
So
We're just done.
that doesn't necessarily add up to like it was manifested unless you believe that the people that were there before, like the Native Americans that were there before, are the ones who initiate it. Which they kind of talk about that in Silent Hill 5 a little bit, but that's even diving deeper into more lore even further back. But basically, they make a deal. They make a deal with the demon of Silent Hill. At the time, and say, well, we want to get the fuck out of here. And he was like, okay, that's fine, but you have to you have to sacrifice one of your children to me.
Oh, easy.
Every generation has to
I think it's
sacrifice.
every 50
generation.
years.
50 years.
I think was it 50 years or was it every generation?
Every 50.
Every
Or
50.
what?
But also, the
Or
reason why
they
the
will turn
combat
into-
is so good in Silent Hill 5
Uh-huh.
is because that developer also made the Indiana Jones game on the original Xbox and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's
Great.
why the
I
combat
want you
was
to
actually
know
good.
that I didn't even know that either of those games existed.
They were great, and that company was known for having good... That's Double Helix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what they made?
What?
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. I think it was the second season? Or what? Did they start it?
They started
Did they
it.
start it? Yeah.
Ooh, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
That's a good game, bro.
Pyramid
Anyway,
Head. Go.
So anyway, yes, and the reason Silent Hill 5 happens in Shepherd's Glen is because it got fucked up basically.
They didn't
fucked up
sacrifice.
and they didn't
Correct.
sacrifice the right way in the right person. And it seeped out into Shepherd's Glen and took over other areas other than Silent Hill. And they end up going to Silent Hill, so
Yeah.
to get it all figured out because they have to go and fuck up the order.
So in Pyramid Head's only in 2 and 5
Yes.
Yes.
at all. Is he mentioned in other games?
Nope. Nope. There is a
Not even a little bit?
Nope. There is a similar presence. It's a similar entity of kind of like Pyramid Head in Silent Hill Origins called the Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like a half helmet that's it's a lot shorter and it looks different than Pyramid Head, but
He's
he has
a play on Pyramid Head?
He's a play on Pyramid Head, and there's theories out there to say that he was like the original kind of like manifestation of a similar thing, but then James.
The one thing I'll say is that makes if we're thinking in our theory,
Yeah.
that makes sense because Travis from Origins,
Mm-hmm.
if
The
you
trucker.
if you get the bad ending, then
He's a trucker. No.
if you get a bad ending, he would be probably the other bad
Yeah,
protagonist of the
yes.
game because it's basically hinted at that he picks up women as he's traveling and rapes and murders them.
Yep.
Jesus.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
But that bad ending doesn't really make
Okay.
sense for the story of
Right?
Silent Hill
Why,
4.
why doesn't it make sense for it? Why?
because that's the whole reason the first game exists.
Who's in the beginning of Silent Hill 5?
The
trucker.
trucker.
Travis.
Yeah, that's
Travis
right.
is in the beginning. He
That's
drops
right.
Alex off.
He drops
right.
Alex off in.
Silent Hill 5.
That's what. Oh, I meant the
And
wet
Homecoming.
town.
Shepherd's Glen.
That's what I was
Shepherd's
saying.
Glen.
He took him to
Um,
his hometown.
Destination.
My last theory, and then we can, if we
Hold
have
on.
any other... Oh, go ahead.
Silent Hill 4.
Yeah.
It's just awful. I don't know if anybody has any other feelings.
Is that Downpour?
No, that's the room.
No.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I was talking about the wrong Silent Hill.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, Silent Hill 4 is good. That had some really cool enemies and stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking about
Oh, it
Downpour.
has some of the
Is that
creepiest
6?
enemies.
Yeah.
Downpour?
Well, technically 7.
7?
yeah.
What's 6?
Shattered Memories.
On the Vita?
Vita, Wii, no, PSP, Wii, and PS2. You're thinking Book of Memories, which is a completely side game.
Oh,
to
okay.
Fuck
everything.
that
So
game.
Silent Hill 7, Downpour. That's just bad.
It's bad. It's real bad.
We don't have to talk about it.
Downgraded graphics.
We don't have to talk about
We
it.
don't. Let's
What
not
was it
talk
on?
about it.
You sometimes you don't find the
PS3
map
and
the entire.
Xbox 360.
Were there
Sometimes you
any
don't
others
find the
on
map for the
PS3?
entire game.
Just the HD
Did
collection.
anybody
had
else?
2 and 3.
Anybody have that problem where they couldn't find the map? I found the map.
I found the map.
That
play
guy.
it.
That guy
Let
didn't
me.
have the map.
Okay. Every fucking Silent Hill game is like, hey man, here's the map of the place that you're in. I'm like, cool, thanks man. And then in Downpour, it doesn't glow. It doesn't tell you it's there.
Now,
I think. Go ahead, because what I'm going to say is mean.
I'm just saying though, like, we worked at GameStop at the time, and I remember I was working that day when it came out, and Jesse picked up the game. He comes back a few hours later, and he was like, dude, I don't know how I feel about this game. And I was devastated because I was super excited about it. And I was like, oh yeah, and he was like, yeah, like, the first thing I noticed, like, they don't give you a map. And I was like, wait, what? There's no way they don't give you a map. He's like, yeah,
they
man,
don't
there's-
give it to you.
There's no map, and I was like, that's bullshit. So I pulled up the strategy guide, rest in peace, strategy guides, and I looked through it and I was like,
He's
dude.
dead now.
I set it down. I was like, dude, it's right here, and he's like, what? And he looks at it, but I can't go back there. So the shitty thing about that game is it literally makes it to where you can miss the map completely for the entire game. And I gotta give it to my homeboy over here. Still beat the game without the map.
Kudos
I
to you,
intimately
sir.
learned that game and intimately hate it.
He learned the names of the streets and where they
I
were
was
laid
like,
out.
yeah, man, you just go to Brahms and then
Yeah.
you take a left on James and
yeah.
You're there. You're there in like a minute.
He like Animal Crossing, like did Silent
He like looks like Charlie from.
So I go down this street,
gotta
but you
this
can't go
street.
here at night.
drawn
Oh,
it.
shit.
Then there's a giant divide in the town right here. So
Always
you can't cross
Sunny.
that.
Always Sunny. If you guys don't know what we're talking about.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
Is a
Oh
fantastic
my
show.
god, that's fucking
Anyway,
bullshit.
go on.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So
So
my last theory was that it became, a Suicide Force. Angela, I already mentioned her quote, and then the other character that you meet is Eddie, who also at the same time gets to Silent Hill
Same time as who? Angela?
as Angela
And
James
James
and Laura. All
So
those
you're
characters.
back on 2 then.
I'm back on 2. I'm sorry. He is, he is very messed up.
Eddie is.
Eddie is very messed up. He is a bigger guy who has problems with bullying.
He's also has some mental.
Also has some
yeah.
mental issues.
Okay, so I'm feeling a lot of Dakota. Continue.
Ouch. He decides to basically go to Silent
do
Hill
take
to run
medication.
away from his problems. The bully that is bullying him, he gets a gun, shoots the guy in the kneecap, and kills his dog.
Damn, I was not
We're
accusing
no
you of
longer
doing
on
that.
Dakota.
We're no
right now.
longer Dakota.
I was
we're on
gonna
Eddie.
say Silent Hill is alcohol, and that's Dakota. Like he's running away from. Anyway, but then you said shot the dog.
No,
Jesus.
he did. Yeah. The quote from the game that sticks out to me.
Fuck you and yourselves.
Well, the
Everybody-
quote that has nothing to do with what
It's
you
too fucking
fuckers
your
just
turn.
said is this is what Eddie says. This is the gentleman that shot someone in the kneecap. Maybe I'm nothing but a fat, disgusting piece of shit. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're smart, dumb, ugly, pretty. It's all the same once you're dead. So every character in this game has reasons to basically go and kill themselves, unfortunately, in Silent Hill. And I just an interesting theory I thought is, what if this becomes like America's version of the Suicide Force? What if this is like, I need to get away from my problems, this is where I'm going? It ties into my theory on the true end, my true ending of Silent Hill 2. It makes sense why each character is there in Silent Hill, because really you should have no reason to go there.
Well, I also feel like when you play Silent Hill the first time through, you don't know what you're doing. You're I feel like it's like a 90% of the time you're gonna get the fucking suicide ending.
Yes, I
So
mean, it
that
gears you
should-
towards that ending.
I mean, it does. It
does.
If you don't know what you're doing,
It's
that's
the
what's
easy,
gonna happen.
It's the easiest ending to.
you're gonna kill enemies you come across because you don't want to die. You're gonna
Because it's a video game. That's
Right.
what you're gonna do.
Okay. Based off of what I've heard and what Chris just said, and I have a light bulb above my head.
You have what?
A
lead bulb.
A light bulb.
Oh, I thought you said lead bubble.
A lead bubble above my. Oh, that's cool. Above my head.
I heard it in your head.
Here's
Go ahead.
my theory. For the whole for all them hills. The reason why there are good and bad endings is because the characters are dying and going through purgatory, and so they originally go through the bad ending and they're restarted until they understand why they're there, and then they get the good ending.
Whoa.
that would be cool.
That'd be cool.